When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. If you like this type of content, smash the like button and subscribe for future videos and updates that I do post on my community tab frequently. If you want to get access to any of my early content, check out the Discord. This is the bargain between an evil god and a villain, part 18. Before I get into this next part, I also been working on a separate series or fan fiction on the side that I will post in like multiple parts. I might combine them all in one big part, but it all really depends how I make it. It's gonna be my first one. I'm going to attempt to do a MHA crossover with the Underworld. Instead of making Izuku a werewolf or a vampire, I decided to go the route of a were-tiger. I'll explain more into it once I have the base storyline or the base of the world building into this series. It's a work in progress. But enough about that. Let's get right into this story. Let's continue where we last left off. Izuku had plenty to think of on his way home after that brief encounter with Alex. One of the competitors from the underground tournament underneath that abandoned church. After he got home, ate an early dinner with his mother. But she seemed to be in a hurry to go somewhere. Once his mother left, he made a small detour back to the workshop to get some work done before he has to go down to the abandoned church to continue the underground tournament. When the Empress got word Grimm is in the workshop, she made her way over there. She noticed he's been busy a lot recently. So she got curious. Oh, there you are, Grimm. I noticed you've been quite the busy bee. I've been doing a couple things on my hand or on my side of things. Like what? Nothing that you would find interesting. Please, indulge me. Fine, I've been taking part in this underground tournament. I didn't take you for the sort to enter such facilities. I came across it, and I also came across a river. Of course, you did. He always attends to those types of tournaments. We made a deal. I entered the tournament, and when he's satisfied at the end of everything, he'll release the intel he has about the League over to me. That actually makes a lot of sense. He works for the Blood Queen, and River has always been resourceful, little bastard. He seems to know things before anyone else does. Well, at least I know where I'm going tonight. What, you're going to go down there? I haven't been down there in quite some time. I'm not going to miss the chance to see you in action. Very well. Before I came over here, I did encounter one of the competitors in my civilian clothes. It was a most interesting experience. If it involves you, you most likely ended up in a fight. That's exactly what happened. I was quite impressed by that little scuffle when I came across him. We had a brief encounter. Then we moved to a different location to have a more thorough fight. It gave me some intel, how he works, how his ability works, and how he fights. You're pretty certain you're going to face him. I don't see anyone like him losing very easily. There's only a few competitors in the bracket that stands out. The rest of them are just small fry. But there's also a second bracket of fighters that I have no knowledge of. It's a common practice in those sort of tournaments. Underground fights usually have multiple cage or arenas. The Hydra gang mostly deals with underground fighting pits and betting pools. So there's not going to be any problem when you arrive. Everything should be fine. I still have a non-aggression pack with the Hydra bastards. And they know better to cause trouble. The non-aggression pact is more for their benefit than myself and the rest of the head lead figures in the criminal underworld in America. Myself and the Blood Queen and a few other key figures are far more powerful than the Hydra gang. They mostly concentrate on making profits than causing trouble. They actually run a couple casinos as well. Thank you for the intel. I also want to mention I came across a building. What kind of building? A new one that just appeared out of nowhere, like it was built overnight. Some sort of agency, something called the Cork Suppress Force. I've heard that name thrown around the criminal underworld. What I know of them, they're more of a sort of agency that's funded by the US government to crack down on crime. But mostly they've been operating in separate sectors of the city. That's not a part of anyone's territory. But I know eventually they're going to be a problem. It's bad enough we have to deal with the police and the heroes. Now we have some sort of secret agency, probably employed with nothing but trigger-happy bastards, just waiting to excuse to put down a villain. I'm going to have to tighten security in all my operations, just to be careful. We don't know when they'll attack. I know secret agencies, they never stay idle for very long. If we're lucky enough, they won't target my gang and my operations first. I would be lucky if they would target the Blood Queen first, or some other small organization that's scattered all around the city. And that's not including all the big players in the criminal underworld too. They got plenty of targets to choose from. Don't get me wrong, Graham, I'm no angel. But me and my people only deal with transporting and selling illegal weapons. I'm basically an arms dealer. But enough about that. It's getting late. That is. I'm gonna head toward the church. Sure thing, Graham. I'll see you when I see you there. Izuku left by shadow portal, appearing several blocks away from the abandoned church. To make sure he wasn't followed, Izuku doubled back a block or two. And he never used the same patterns of travel when he's walking through the blocks repeatedly. Once he passed through the block a few times, taking a different path each time, he finally successfully made it back to the church. They immediately recognized him as a competitor. No charge was applied. They allowed him in through without no trouble, without no pat down. He gave them a short nod and acknowledgement and continued on his way, going inside the church and eventually getting to the secret pathway or entrance to head down to the bar. Izuku went directly to the competitor's room. Izuku looked around, noticing he's the first one to arrive. He's a bit early. So he hung back, leaning against the wall, catching and throwing a small bone kunai in the air. It didn't take long for River to arrive. He came walking in, gazing the almost empty room. It looks like we're the only one here. As he greeted Grim, "Yo, Mr. Spooky." River, "I'm surprised you're here so early. What can I say? I like to work on a schedule." What exactly are they doing to the ring? As Izuku kept his eye on the monitor as he watched them do something to the ring. Don't know, but it looks like fun. As they watched the cage metal ring become electrified, it didn't take long for the other competitors to start showing up. The first thing Apex did when she stepped into the competitor room, she immediately spotted Grim. She approached him. "Good, you're here early." As more competitors start to show up, as they announce over the intercom that the continuation of the underground tournament will be getting soon, Izuku uses time to center himself, preparing himself for the fight ahead. An hour later, they started to announce the first match. Grim and River weren't paying attention. They were just cannon fodder. They were sitting on one of the tables, completely disinterested in the match, as they're on the table playing Uno. The fact that River and Grim were playing a normal card game in the midst of a underground and highly illegal tournament going on made them stand out. River drew a wild card. Change color blue. Of course you did. What can I say? I love the color blue. So, what do you think about the match so far? It's really not all that impressive. You're probably not wrong. The next two matches are probably going to be boring until some of the more interesting competitors start fighting. Izuku plays a blue draw 2 card, saying what he drew, what Izuku just placed down onto the table. River drawed 2 cards from the deck. As the boring fight continued in the background of the monitor, showing what's happening in the ring, as the 2 competitors had the same quirk, canceling each other out from each attack. Damn, you're kicking my ass in this game. I didn't think you would be good at Uno. It's a game of strategy, limited strategy, but strategy nevertheless. Naturally, I'm good at it. And that, my friend, is Uno. Game, set, and match. As he plays the last card, winning the game. The moment he won the game, the card game, they announce the second battle. Both opponents knock each other out. Considering the match ended so fast, they're setting up the next matches sooner than normal, or sooner than usual. 15 minutes later has passed as they begin to announce the next match of the night, or the next fight of the night. Well, looks like I'm up first again. As River's referring, he's fighting before Grim. Not that he's the first fighter to fight tonight. As River made his way towards the door that leads to the electrified cage arena, River stood there in the middle of the cage arena, watching the electrified metal cage spark every so often. River briefly acknowledged the new addition to the cage ring, the electrified cage. River didn't have to wait long for his opponent to finally arrive. River watched his opponent closely and carefully. Without getting it, River was relaxed, not even getting into a fighting stance. He still has his hands in his black jacket pocket, with a smug grin on his face. As a floating stream of water materialized and swirled around River, the water stream lashed out, forming into water tendrils, flying through towards his opponent. His opponent blocked the water tendrils with a strong energy shield that surrounded his body. When the water tendrils made contact, it only hit the energy barrier of the energy shield, leaving him completely untouched. How interesting. Some sort of barrier or energy shield quirk? Maybe manipulation? How very unique. How quaint. It doesn't matter what you do, kid. Your water attacks can't reach me. Can't even get past my energy shield. What hope do you have in winning this match? Your energy fields, your shields, are quite interesting, but every shield has a kink in the armor. It's only a matter of time before I find it. But I do like a challenge. Even if there's a kink in my armor, as you said so elegantly, that doesn't mean I'm going to allow you to find it. He immediately encased River in a solid square of pure energy barrier. Basically a square energy box, basically. As he clenched, he closed his fist slowly as the energy box begins to decrease in size. It's over, you lost. River was not bothered one bit, casually running his fingers across the energy box. that he's inside of and is shrinking slowly. Like there's an inside joke that he's only aware of. Before his opponent could do anything further, River's entire body turned into water and fell to the ground, making his opponent to look around only to see another source of water materialize, forming into a shape of a body as River materialized. Like he was there from the very beginning, solid, with his cocky grin on his face. You see, my friend, you might have a impressive energy quirk manipulation, maybe? But with my abilities, you won't be able to capture me that easily. You're gonna have to try a whole lot harder. But all means, proceed. You're more than willing to try another attempt. But I suppose it is my turn, though. After all, this is supposed to be a battle tournament. River immediately started to shoot water bullets from his fingers, like he was shooting a gun, with the gun gesture with his hand, as he constantly says bang, as he shoot another water bullet from his fingertip towards his opponent. And when the water bullet was about to it began to hit the energy shield around his opponent, River's body briefly turned into water. As the water parts of his body begins to split off, making several water clones of himself, and begin to shoot off water bullets on all sides of his opponent. As the guy was getting barrage of water bullets continuously, hitting his shield, surrounding him on all sides. River didn't want to use this so soon, but it can't be helped. His opponent is not a simple one to deal with. His opponent quirk is indeed powerful, even the constant barrage of water bullets. His barriers are still going strong. That only means he just needs to apply more pressure. The moment he started to shoot water bullets once he started to shoot another wave of water bullets, he started to encase them in ice as the water bullets turned into ice bullets, smashing into his energy shield. River could see fragments of cracks finally forming onto the energy barrier or shield. That only made him smirk as he increased the rate of fire of his water bullets, turning them to ice bullets with all of his fingers, both of his hands. His water clones copied the same movement and did the same pattern. As the increased rapid rate of the ice bullets being shot at him only increased the fracture of the cracks. River could do this all day. He has an ultimate amount of water. Each water bullet he used, or ice bullet, he reabsorbs into water and reuse it into the next set of water bullets. His opponent is currently in a deadly deadlock, a deadly process of absorbing and firing off absorbed water or ice turned into water to be used again. It's a very terrifying but simple method, very effective. Izuku, who was in the back watching the battle, closely kept his eyes on the monitor. Izuku wasn't surprised that River can make water copies of himself. and reused the same water that he used prior. After his first display of his abilities, turning his body into water when he first faced him, he already calculated that he probably could demonstrate such a feat, given his multiple abilities over water. Apex was impressed. I got to admit, that cocky blue hair bastard is pretty good. You're not wrong there. Not many people could use a water-based quirk with such skill and accuracy. Not only that, but most people with that sort of quirk usually become heroes or work for the fire department. I don't know about the hero part, but the fire department makes sense. River's water bullets that turned into ice bullets became more thicker as they crashed right through the energy barrier, hitting his opponent in multiple areas, mostly in the chest. River watched, he finally made contact, as the man was sent rolling across the ground like a rag doll. Each ice bullet hit hard, like a bullet. More like cannon than anything else. River motioned his clones to press the attack. When he finally got to his feet, he was surrounded by the water clones of River, as he immediately engaged them in hand-to-hand combat, as the water clones start to form ice over their feet and hands. The water clones continuously to press on the attack by throwing punches and kicks, forcing the man, or pushing the man further and further towards the other side of the electric metal cage. River charged forward, summoning a palm strike in his stomach, as a hydro blast filled of condensed water came out of his palm when he made contact with his stomach, and sent the man flying right into the electric cage, electrifying him. It wouldn't be too bad if the man wasn't soaking wet with water, making the electricity to hit his body in a higher voltage, almost killing him, as the man fell to the ground, smoking. Alive, barely, but alive. River went back to the waiting room without even giving a second glance. That was impressive, River. He gave Grim a cocky grin. It was, wasn't it? I'm just that awesome. Worship me if you must. I accept. As he gave a cocky bow. After all, not everyone could be such awesome as me. River boasting was interrupted, but the same woman's voice appeared over the intercom. Well, that was quite an interesting battle. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. There's plenty of more action where that came from. We're already preparing for the next match of the night. It will start very soon. Will Apex please enter the arena? We will start shortly. Apex pushed off the wall where she was leaning on and made her way towards the arena. She only smirked at the electrified cage as she watched her opponent enter the cage. Apex's opponent was an older man this time around. Apex didn't need an invitation. She blitzed forward, swinging a powerful fist at her opponent. Her opponent blocked her fist with his forearm. as she noticed a solid. His entire forearm was covered in metal. Apex hopped a few times backwards to get some distance, to get some space. Interesting. Very interesting. A metal hardening cork. This should be fun. She charged again at her opponent. As her opponent met her halfway, as they began to exchange punches and kicks with each other. Apex wasn't allowing him to hit her. She would dodge and weave around his attacks and land powerful blows to his body. But because of his metal hardening cork, he kept pushing forward, completely ignoring the many solid hits Apex made on him, and she's not punching him light. She has a form of super strength, so her attacks definitely hurt. It was just because his defenses, when it comes to his hardening cork, is so good. It's making her punches hard to get through the tough metal. He managed to land a powerful hit into Apex's stomach, sending her skidding backwards. She stopped her momentum immediately and activated her cork as a mace materialized in her hand. Then spikes began to pop out of the normal looking mace that turned to a normal mace into a spike mace. Then a chain slowly begins to materialize, connecting the spike ball to the metal pole that she's carrying in her hand, and swung the chain towards her opponent, landing a devastating blow into his stomach, sending him directly skidding across the ground. The man wiped the blood from his lips with his forearm and charged forward, but each time he got too close, he was met with a swing of that spike mace. She's swinging around with a chain. No matter what direction he chose to attack with, Apex met her opponent with her spike chain Morningstar with deadly skill and accuracy. At this point, Apex is just playing around with her food. She could easily end this, and she knows it. She knows how to fight people with hardening quirks. They always have a breaking point, a fatal flaw. So she wants to see how much he can withstand before he ultimately breaks. As her attacks got more faster and far more brutal, as she slammed her chain Morningstar upwards, making contact under his chin, sending the man airborne, she appeared in mid-air, right in front of him, and spin her body around, landing a powerful swipe with her Morningstar and a spin motion. Basically a spin wipe, basically. Not sure how you would call that with a Morningstar, but she just spin and hit him with her Morningstar, landing a direct blow into the man's stomach, sent him flying into the ground. Instantly, the chain begins to recede, slamming into the metal pole, making the chain Morningstar, into a normal mace, spike mace, but mace nevertheless, and charged forward, slamming her spike mace into his chest, breaking through the metal hardening cork, slamming him right into the electrified metal cage, electrocuting the man, completely knocking him out. His entire hardening cork was made of metal, and his hardening cork is very acceptable to electricity. After the unconscious body was moved from the ring, they start the next match immediately, calling Alex and his opponent to enter the arena. Alex made his way towards the cage arena with his usual vicious grin, confident stride, with his hands in his jacket pocket, his leather jacket pocket. Alex's opponent was a few years older than Alex. Younger man. The man was confident, but not cocky. Alex pulled out a singular hand out of his pocket as a bolt of electricity flew from his palm into the man's face. Alex's eyes narrowed as he sees the severe damaged face of his opponent slowly begin to heal. In mere seconds, he was completely healed, like he was never attacked in the first place. Now that's a nice trick. You can't win this, Alex. No matter how much damage you do to me, I will heal. You're fighting a losing battle. We'll just have to see about that. Alex charged forward. Alex channeled electricity through his body and threw out a infused electrified punch. His opponent did not move as he waited for the attack at the last moment, then blocked the attack, ignoring the pain shooting through his forearm as he felt the electricity coursing through his body. But his healing quirk was negating the damage. As Alex swung across his face, landing a direct hit to the side of his face. Then, when his attack hit, his opponent slammed his fist into Alex's face, only turning his head slightly to the side. Instead of getting angry, instead of having an angry expression, the man was expecting only to see Alex grin only increase, as Alex's eyes only showed pure excitement, like he's enjoying this, and struck the man with several lightning-fast punches that sent the man skidding backwards. But Alex's opponent did not stay idle. He charged forward, slamming his knee into Alex's stomach, making Alex cough up spit. As he grabbed Alex by the face and slammed his knee into his face repeatedly, then ending his assault by throwing him right into the electrified cage. As electricity coursed through from the cage into Alex's body, when his body made contact, there was no visible damage that was shown. He simply stood up smoking, like nothing happened, like he never was electrified in the first place. The electricity did not damage him. He straight up absorbed electricity into his body, giving him more energy to fight with. Now that's more like it. What a rush. You fight better than the other losers I fought so far. I want to see more. Bring it. The man charged at Alex. He met him halfway, dodging and weaving through his swings, then jumped up and slammed the top of his knee underneath the man's chin. Then he kicked the man in the stomach in midair, sending his opponent directly into the electric cage, shocking the man. But because of the healing quirk, he was recovering fast. Alex used this time to set up his next attack, while his opponent is still trying to recover. As a very condensed orb of pure electricity began to form in his hand, as he casually tossed it in the middle of the ring, the orb came to life. There was a bright flash. When the flash receded from the pure electricity orb, what stood there in its place was like electric-like spider webs encasing the entire arena, with several electrified constructs of pure electricity in forms of spiders on the spider web, moving around. There were 4 electric spider constructs walking on the electrified spider web, getting ready to pounce on their new prey. The spiders launched forward, leaping from their spots from above down upon him. About time he noticed the pure electric spider constructs were already upon him, giving him enough time to dodge and try to get some space between himself and the weird-looking electric-looking spiders. Well, the spiders that made out of pure electricity. To formulate a battle strategy, he immediately had to duck under one of the electric spiders constructs, flying over his head into the electric cage. Once it made contact with the cage, the body of the electric spider construct was compromised as a critical mass erupted in a small electric explosion, sending the man skidding backwards from the electric explosion, but basically from the force of the electrical explosion. He was just too close to it. He had several severe burns, 4th-degree burns from the electric burns on his skin that's already in the process of healing. Alex charged forward, dodging the remaining electric spiders that he created, and engaged his opponent, working alongside with his electric spiders. The man managed to counter and grab Alex by the face and slam his face into the cage as electricity began to course through Alex's body. Instead of the external electricity causing damage to his body, it supercharged him like he did the last time, making Alex laugh as he grabbed the man by the face. As the electricity coursing through his body moved to his opponent's body, that all the electricity he's been absorbing, he released it all into his opponent. As the man begins to scream out in pain, the man desperately trying to get Alex's hand off his face to break his grip, but Alex only increased his grip, and slammed him harder into the electrified cage. As Alex is wondering how much electricity will it take to overcharge the man's healing ability, as he kept releasing higher voltage of electricity through the man's body, his skin begins to burn until there was nothing but a charged skeleton, as he casually tossed the charged skeleton to the ground, as it begins to generate smoke from the burned flesh and bone matter, as he casually dismissed his spider construct with a wave of his hand as they all disappeared into nothingness and like bursts of electricity. So did the spider web, like covering the entire arena. Like it was never there in the first place. Alec whistled with his hands in his leather jacket pocket, turning around and entering the competitor room. Happy with himself. While everyone was distracted by Alec's battle, Apex managed to sneak away without being noticed. She knows this won't be... She knows she won't be called for a fight anytime soon. There are so many other competitors that hasn't had their chance to fight yet tonight. So she has plenty of time. She walked out to get some more secluded area and answered and picked up her phone. Apex, what do you need? Status. I'm in position. Good. How many are there? That's on the kill list. We have several in the audience. Even that Empress is here, alongside the Blood Queen. I haven't seen her myself, but the word around the place that she's here. Good. The moment I'm ready, we'll strike. Hold up, you're not doing anything until I have my fun with Grim. Wait, Grim's there? Yes. And you're not doing shit until I have my fight with him? Sorry, sis, but I have my orders. God damn it, fine. Grim is not to be killed. Do we understand each other, brother? Aren't we being possessive now? I don't care what sort of deal you got with this League of Villains. That's none of my business. But Grim is mine. And you know better to get between what belongs to me, to get between myself and my prey. You might be family, but if you get in my way, I'll kill you. Relax, relax. Lucky for you, the boss man doesn't want Grim to be killed. That doesn't mean we can't break him a little bit. Do what you want, brother. But this is the last time I will allow the League to get involved in my personal business. Yeah, I got it, sis. I'll be seeing you real soon. As the call was disconnected, Apex broke the burner phone and threw it in the trash as she made her way back to the competitor room, where no one paid her no mind when she re-entered the room. And that's where we're going to stop it for now. I'll catch you guys in the next part.